loves, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe. If you are an oldie goldie, I appreciate you. God bless you in advance, and thank you for being here. So how about we just get into it? There's no beating around the bush, okay? So as per the title, this is my positive pregnancy and birth story, and yeah, and a bit of my first months into as a mom. So let's get into it. Why do I keep saying let's get into it? My pregnancy was very smooth. I figured out that I was pregnant at 8 weeks, so my first trimester smooth. The only time that I became nauseous, you use what you may, was when I started taking my pregnancy supplement. I used to take one by the brand called Pregnacare. It wasn't working for me. Every time I took it, especially at night, I would throw up. Every time I take it, I threw up. So I talked to my friend, and she told me she's using something different. So she's using some gummies. So I switched to those gummies. Been good, been perfect, been good since day one. I could count with this hand how many times I threw up. Yeah, after pregnant care, after stopping to use that medicine, I could count with this hand how many times I threw up. So my pregnancy was very smooth, I would say that. I did not have any food aversions, to none. I, however, just became extremely in love with orange juice, and I hate it now. I do not like orange juice now. If I drink orange juice now, I have to have mixed it with a fuzzy drink. I'm not having it like that. But before, I was finishing like a 3 liter bottle in a day. Apart from that, that was just it. I didn't have any food aversions, any smell aversions. I didn't have any of those. So my pregnancy was very smooth. So come October the 16th was when I traveled. So this is when I moved from Kenya to the UK. My husband stays and lives in the UK. So I moved here to be with him. My flights, everything, like when I say everything was smooth, everything was smooth. My transition smooth. It was very, very, very smooth. So come 25th of December, this is when, So after 32 weeks, this is when I was flying. So after I flew in like 3 days, my Braxton Hicks started becoming more intense. I was having them before, but they were very light. And they just become a bit more intense. So when they would come, if I was even in a group of people, I would just keep quiet, like, then they come and go. When we go to 36 weeks, I would say I started feeling contractions, but not like contractions, but like I started feeling contractions. And we could go for walks. After we go for walks, we come back home. My back, I'm in contractions. Then it was there. And I genuinely thought I'm about to give birth. My due date is December the 29th. So going to the 25th, Mom and Dad came. Why am I swallowing my words? I'm sorry, loves. So come the 25th, my mom and dad came over to our home for Christmas. In reference right now, I call my husband's mom and dad. I also call them mom and dad. So in the reference now, when in this video, anytime I say mom and dad, I'll be referencing to my two, what is it called? To mom and dad. You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. So mom and dad came over. Mom, dad, and my nephew, they came over for Christmas. So that day we were chilling. Baby didn't move at all. It was just like 2 seconds. Not 2 seconds. Like, okay, that was exaggeration. Like a minute or 2 minutes where she had hiccups, and that was just it. So she didn't move at all. And then we went to bed at around 1 a.m. At 3 a.m. I woke up. And of course, as usual, I used to go to the toilet a lot. Like in a night, I'd go 5 times. It used to piss me off. Anyway, so I woke up, I went to the toilet, and then when I had finished peeing, when I wiped myself, there was blood. And Like when I tell you, I have read, I have studied, I have watched bath vlogs. So I was mentally prepared for things like this. So when I saw my blood, I was just like, oh, so that's my mucus plug. It's out. So this time it's 26th in the morning at 3 a.m. So I went home. I went to bed. My husband had just like, he was just chilling there. He was playing a game, and then I told him, babes, my mucus plug is out. My husband, my husband became confused. He's like, so what do you want me to do? But do you want to go to the hospital now? I'm like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital now because the contractions are not as strong enough yet. And if we go now, they'll just send us back. So let me just sit on the ball. So I sat on the ball. I was bouncing on the ball. And then until around 6. So within that time, I had asked him to sleep because he hadn't slept. And yeah, he hadn't slept. Remember, at 3, he hadn't slept yet. Because also he felt like it could be any time. And he doesn't want me to be in pain and for him not to be available. So he slept for like an hour or 2. And then I woke him up. I had already called the triage. And I told them that my mucus plug is out. And after my mucus plug came out, I felt something like water trickling down my legs. But it wasn't as much. So what I thought was, my water had just broke, and like it's broken a little bit, not all of it. But so I went to triage. They sat me down there. They checked how much dilated I am. So for dilation means, for anyone who doesn't know what dilation means, it's the checking to see how open your cervix is. If it's more than 4 centimeters, then you'll have to stay because then you're ready for giving birth. So when they checked my cervix, I was just 1 centimeter dilated. 1 centimeter dilated. So they asked me, how's the baby? Yes, the previous day. Because after listening with that thing, they used to listen to the stomach. So they asked me, how was the baby? I'm like, I did not really feel much of her yesterday. She did very bare minimum movements apart from the hiccups. And so I was put on a... Oh, wait, before that. See? I could have forgotten I am forgetting my birth story. So, as I answered them that, then they're like, okay, if she wasn't active, we will probably have to induce you so that, you can just get this process started, because if she's coming here in 3 days, either way, we might as well just get it done. I was like, okay, fine, cool. So she asked me if she could do a sweep. So a sweep is when the nurse puts a finger or two between your... Look, I don't know if I'm explaining these things correctly, but look, just work with me. They put their fingers between your amniotic sac and the cervix and then sweep it like this, right? So this is going to be able to start labor. Okay, cool. So I sit outside. They put me in machines to measure my baby's heart rate and my contractions. So my contractions were every 5 minutes. They were lasting like a minute. And baby's heartbeat within 40 minutes. They check the din, 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 din. You know what I'm saying? They check that. So at one point, it was going up. But the way it should rhythmically go up again, it doesn't. It like goes flat, kidogo, and then it goes back up. So they were like, yeah, we need to induce you. We have to induce you. And that's when they told me that her heartbeat kept on going down. In my heart, I'm like, oh, I've been waiting for this moment, and here it is. So I need to absorb it. So remember, right now I'm still alone. I am alone at the triage because because of COVID, they are not allowing 2 people up to the triage. But once you go to the ward, then you can have someone come see you and visit you, right? Okay. So when I went to the ward, this was like 3-4 hours later. My husband came up and I started now having very regular contractions. I don't think the sweep literally, it was just like, it just made everything go faster. So I started having contractions back to back. And let me tell you, they are painful. They are painful. Look, I'm not saying that this is a positive story because they are not painful. Oh, I breezed through it. I breezed through nothing. My labor was fast though, but I breezed through nothing. Zero. I also did some very dumb things, which I'm going to discuss. So, my husband comes up, brings me some hot chocolate. I'm having hot chocolate as my contractions, whatever. So my nurse comes and she's like, but she comes and she was finding me in having contractions in labor. So she was just like, I need to go and prepare your induction stuff. Then we were just like, now me and my husband were like, do you want to check? Because the water has not broken. Oh yeah, my water hadn't broken. I was just imagining things. Water hadn't broke. So I was just imagining things. So we'd ask her that, you know what, we'd like for you to check and to see how dilated I am. She checks. 4 centimeters. So at 4 centimeters, there's no need for me to get an induction because I've already started. My cervix is already gradually and fast opening. Remember, we need to get to how many centimeters? To 10 centimeters. What is the difference? What difference is 10 centimeters? I don't even want to think about it now that I'm going to think about it. But I have to think about it. So it's like, yeah, maybe this black, the 10 centimeters. So your cervix has to be this much open for you to give birth. Respect women. Okay, so I'm at 4 centimeters. At this 4 centimeters, because she noticed that I'm really very fast dilating, I was moved to another room so that they could also now start monitoring baby and me and my contractions. I moved there. I didn't even stay there for like 10 minutes because we were waiting for a delivery room to be prepared. So when I was there, I told the nurse, oh yeah, I would love an epidural. And she was like, okay, she will tell the people at the labor and delivery section to give me the epidural. So if you do not know what an epidural is an anesthetic. An anesthetic. Let me Google it for you. Anna. Why am I Googling Anna? Silva, you don't know how to use your phone. Just a second. What am I searching? Epidural. So it says an epidural is an injection in your back to stop you feeling from any part of the body. This page covers epidural anesthesia, a type of epidural commonly given for pain relief in childbirth and some type of surgery. So what happens is you have to sit straight with your back. They will numb your back first, and then they will inject the liquid, now the epidural fluid, to your back. So you get numb from the waist down. Okay, so when I got there, she's like, oh, I know you I want epidural, but I was just like, because I was still okay, I could feel pain, yes, but I was laughing and talking and chilling with my babe. Like, we were laughing, like we were literally talking stories, and we were even keeping bets of, oh babe, if you leave here with all these nails, I will give you ABCD. Like, we were having, so I was just having conversations. So I just told the nurse that no, not now. Maybe in about an hour or so. So please remember, we are now in the labor and delivery room. This is at 3 p.m. and I was ready for 4 centimeters up there. So I'm chilling. I was settled. My suitcase is there. Baby's clothes, everything opened. Just ready for her. So and then after like an hour, around 4 p.m. The nurse came and checked me, and she's like, oh, you're 6 centimeters dilated. Cool. 6 centimeters dilated. So let me sit fast properly to tell you what happens. When I was sitting there, because I was wearing an adult diaper, my water broke. So I didn't hear this of water, but I just went to my diaper. So then my waters broke, and I removed my diaper. She took it. She put like a tester to confirm if it's water or if it's pee. Because if your water is not broken, then at around 8 centimeters is where they come and break your water. But my water had broken. Perfect, right? So this madam, this madam decides she wants to check if the baby is properly in the cervix. So the cervix looks like this, right? The pelvic bone, not the cervix, the pelvic bone. So they need to have the head, not like this, like you understand what I'm saying. This is the head. So this is the pelvic bone. This is the pelvic bone. This is the baby's head. So they need to have the head here fully engaged so that it's able to move, but the head was not fully engaged like this. The head was here. So Madam Nurse had to put her hand, okay, well, not her hand is an exaggeration, but she had to put her 3 fingers inside of me, whole baby's head, pull it. When I tell you that was painful than giving birth, it was. I remember I cried. It was so painful because now you can imagine you're not fully dilated, which means you're not fully open. You're not like open enough properly. But someone has like 3 fingers, and you know my baby has a head. Take hold of the baby's head, put it into position, secure it into position, and then remove their hand. Yeah. No. So she did that, and then around 6, I really wanted to poop. I was like, okay, I want to take a poop. I want to go poop. And she goes like, oh yeah, give me a second. Don't go. If you want to poop there, but give me a second. So she came, checked me. What am I? 10 centimeters dilated, fully dilated at 6, around 6:15, because I believe I started pushing about 6:30. So at this point I feel dilated. They call the doctor, they call the nurses, all of them. They come, put the things, put it on, preparing for giving birth. They put on the bed the things for the legs, like this, for the legs to stay up higher. 6:30 we start pushing, honey. 6:30 we start pushing. Push. It got to a point where I was getting tired. And I told them, I'm getting tired. Like, I'm tired. So they gave me an option of using a suction cup to pull her from within me. Like, not like pull, not like to assist me as an assisted birth. But did I tell you that my child has a head? Did I tell you that my child has body? Did I tell you that this child came 3.5 kgs? She was just like, so I need to open more space for your child to come out. I'm like, I'm sorry? It's like, yeah, I'm going to inject you with local anesthetic. So to just make me numb. So she made me numb. I got cut. So I got an episiotomy done. An episiotomy is, I will tell you right now. An episiotomy is a cut or incision through the area between your vaginal opening and your anus. So that's where I got a tear. Like this. So not a tear, that's where they cut me. So they injected me. I don't know if they snipped me or if they cut me. My husband would know that because he was looking. I think they snipped me. Pulled baby out. Now, when I tell you this child came out and I felt, I got too fast. So after they cut, they told me, don't push, just cough. So I did. They like cough again, and she was out. This child came out. I felt my stomach did. I just felt like a relief, like when you're from the market and then you've carried things, heavy stuff, you've carried potatoes and everything on your back, and when you get home and someone takes them off you, like someone takes the load off your back, you see how you feel. That was how I felt. So that happened. My baby was born at 7:03 p.m. Maybe my baby Ayana Muthoni Karanu. I call my mom back in Kenya. I'm like, Mom. My nieces they weren't asleep. They were like, they're going to stay up until the baby is born. Also, note that from here, the time difference is 3 hours. So by the time I was calling them, I couldn't call them, of course, immediately because there was just so much that was happening around. I also needed to absorb. I was also holding baby and feeding her, So when I called them, it was around 11 p.m. My girls were still awake. And my niece shares her birthday with my baby on the 26th of December. So yes. So after that, we thought, because it's already so late, and everyone and the baby is born, that my husband will be allowed to stay over and help and come with me up to the ward. Nope. So he took me up to the ward and he had to leave me, and that was hard. My battery died. I just changed it. Okay, where was I? Can you imagine? You just have a newborn baby, your wife is barely walking, and they ask you to leave her with a child overnight. That was hard. That was really, really hard. However, because I was given the anesthetic, I wasn't feeling as much pain. So it was even easy, even like getting on top of the bed. But of course, my bones have been opened. So of course, even my walking is a bit slow. But I was like, okay, I couldn't sleep at night because I was just looking at this beautiful girl. I'm like, oh, she's all mine. She's all mine. Like, I'm not giving it to someone else. Like, when she cries, I have to figure it out. Oh, do I? Yes, you do. So I was there with her the whole night. It was really nice. She woke up twice. 2 times only. And you're sharing it's an open ward. So it's a bed of 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 beds in one section. So, and all the beds were full. So from the baby's crying, there was a baby. Oh my God, poor child. Oh, the baby cried all night. I think that baby had a very, what's it called? His tongue tie was very intense because he couldn't even feed. Oh, I was feeling so sad for him. Oh, the mom was also so tired. And of course, you cannot go be like, do you want me to help? Of course, no, you can't do that. But I just felt really bad for her. And I hope that baby is good now. And, that baby is living life and the tongue tie has been sorted. Okay, back to us. So my baby slept through the noise and I knew this is my child. Because me and Mr. Man, we are loud. Like, we talk. There is no, no, we don't do that in this house. That's one thing we don't do. Because she's asleep, now we go stepping on eggshells. No, we don't do that. So, and she's gotten used to it. She sleeps with the noise. Okay? And I love it. I love it. So we left the next morning. Visitation is only from 10 a.m. So I thought you'd be out by 10 because I mean there was really nothing. The baby was checked. She was okay. I was fine. So I knew we just gotta bounce. Paperwork, love. Paperwork made us stay there for a while. So around 3 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. we went back home. And now the healing begins. Remember, I have that tear. Yeah. Now, so for it to heal faster, you could either have a SITS birth, a SITZ birth. However, because I know of one thing that works, has been proven, and I'm telling you it works because it worked on me, is water, hot water, not like scorching hot. Please don't burn yourself. Like, not really warm, but a bit, on the hot side. Water with salt, like concentrated with salt. Trust me, does wonders. It does wonders. So I used to sit on that 3 times a day. 3 times a day. The first day it was a bit. I was scared. I was like, is it gonna be painful? But it wasn't painful. I think my body had just gone through a lot. It was now not able to realize what is painful, what is not. But I'll tell you what's painful. What's painful is at night when you are asleep, but you have to keep waking up every hour to feed a child. So you have a cat, you're sleeping, you have to push yourself to wake up. You're already using your core muscles to push yourself. The core muscles kind of low-key, they get to your pelvic area. So that you got pain, you can't sit down properly because if you sit down and you forget to clench your butt together before you sit, when you sit down, because you're sitting directly on the wound, it stretches. So you can imagine you have been sewn, then that area is stretching. Yes, so before you sit down, you have to clench your booty, look where you're sitting, slowly sit down and slowly release. Did I say farting was a problem? Aye. There's a day I farted, and when I tell you I cried, like I farted and I regretted. I would have rather just had that stomachache. I would rather. And from that day, I held on to all my fats until I was fine. I held on to all my fats. And I was just like, if my stomach has a problem, if my stomach crumbles, that's fine. Let it crumble, but I am not going to fat anymore in this house. I felt TMI, but I felt so much pain. Oh, it's already TMI already. But I felt so much pain. I literally was just kneeling down and holding onto the carpet. Like if it was something I could squeeze, I probably would have busted it. But that one was painful. Nipples cracking, I didn't get that because what is it called? Because I was already applying nipple cream before I gave birth. So like my nipples were not fresh. They'd already gotten used to the cream, so it was a bit easier. And yeah, now she's 2 months. She got to 2 months. When was it? On Sunday. Yes, on Sunday she got to 2 months. And we're doing an amazing job. We are doing a fantastic job. A gorgeous job. We're doing it good. And I just want to say thank you for being here. That is my positive birth story. Anything that I've forgotten that I would like to include? I think not. No, nothing. That was it. Oh yeah, baby's farts. The first farts. If you do with a lighter, there'll be fumes all over the place. Because yeah, I don't know what kids eat when they're in the stomach, but their farts. The time she was sleeping in the bedroom, I had the bedroom. I entered immediately. I left. We left the door open. I went to my babe. Babe, I think Ayana has done a pool nami today. Do you think she had done anything? It was just farts. So yes, so if you that happens. And yeah, that is the story of how we brought our little sweetheart to the world. And yes, thank you so much for loving us so much on social media. She gets loved. Like, I called my family back home, and the first thing is, where's Ayana? I stopped mattering. I matter no more. So thank you, and so yeah, I thank God. I thank God for being here. So until next time, was I out of focus the whole time? I hope not. Until next time, I love y'all.